The content and opinions shared on Talking Randomish are intended for entertainment and informational purposes. They reflect the personal views of the host and guests and do not constitute professional advice or represent any affiliated organization.
We're talking randomly. Talking random. We're talking randomly. Talking random.
Welcome back to Barbershop Talking Random-ish. I am the master barber himself, the elder.
Enrique
Antonio.
Enrique.
And during the break, we found out I was not the elder of the room.
Well, no. We found out you just wasn't the eldest. You still an elder.
One of you little young bucks. Well, you bring them along. Try to give them some wisdom. The little guy knowledge.
Them young lions losing, boy.
He's sitting back in the cut. He's sitting back in the cut, ready to pounce on him.
Don't keep snitching. What happened?
What are you young fellow boy? My.
It's just that old man knowledge.
You've been trying to clean it up ever since you said it.
But I'm gonna welcome y'all back to Barbershop Talking Random-ish tonight. We concluding mental health awareness, and we got some young gunners, some old gunners, some guns that you may have to put some.
I need some oil in my gun.
You gotta put some in it and churn it to get it going. But we having a great conversation, man. This is what we supposed to do.
Yeah.
And I'm so blessed and glad and honored to have these men in the building tonight. And when we left off, we had just spoke upon our experiences with mental health, but now we're gonna get into some solutions. And if not solutions, ways to help cope, ways to help get you through. If you at any time is feeling like you don't want to make it to the next day, you won't make it to the next day, 988. 988. And if you are a veteran, hit 1. 9881. I got a number for you vets. We're going to get y'all in touch with Mr. Denny Headaway. He going to get y'all some help. But I got Mr. Handy here. And let's talk about your organization, your foundation, the things that you're doing in the community that are helping knock down some of these doors, or knock down some of this stigma about mental health.
And so before I start there, hey, thank you again, Rick, man, for even the information about the veterans and about this group. I mean, I feel just powerful, feel different. Even being here tonight, man, it's a great group of guys and being here these conversations. It's very, very powerful, which gives me more encouragement and makes me more excited about what I'm doing through this nonprofit. The D.L. Handy Foundation, which started in 2022, stands for Dennis Lamar Handy, my name, with 3 pillars of community empowerment, scholarships, and philanthropy. And so when we first started this organization, I started off pretty much basically through philanthropy by having a charity event every year to raise money for some type of health initiative that was taking place or affecting the people around our community. So 2019, I had the first event, just something I want to have people come around Christmas time dress up with a purpose. And so that year, had the event in Gwinnett County, raised about $2,000. We gave $1,000 to the Sparrow's Nest here in Athens, Georgia, with Jamie Scott. We gave $1,000 to this place called Rainbow Village in Gwinnett County that deals with domestic violence. COVID came, then 2022 came back, and so people started asking, well, you going to have the event again? So at that point, I said, well, what, can I focus on when it comes to health initiatives at this point? That time, I had a little cousin who had leukemia, and so we did childhood cancer research. Did a little research, found this organization called the Raleigh Foundation that helps young kids with, cancer research. And we had the charity event at Marsville Hall in Oconee County, and we were able to raise over $10,000 that year for childhood cancer research. And so then I started thinking, like, what would be my philanthropy focus for next year? I knew I suffered from anxiety, but my cousin committed suicide in December of 2022. Very totally unexpected. She had a few things going on, but didn't really think it would get to that point. And, you can come from a loving family and still have things going on.
Absolutely.
And we come from a very loving family, very close, love each other. And so it was very disheartening when we got the information. And so when that happened, that was my waha. I felt like God was saying, you need to get in this community and speak about mental health, because there's a lot of people that could be your cousin's situation, they could be next, or is going through something and don't know where to go or how to get the help. And so from there, I kind of got the torch running pretty much. I went to a restaurant out on Mills Bridge Road, contacted the guy, got about 5 guys out of Athens who were comfortable talking about their mental health situation. Also got a therapist from over at UJ, a black guy, Dr. Brad Hamrick. We came together, had a panel discussion. About 75 people came out, and we just talked as a panel discussion about mental health, about what it looked like, why is there such a stigma within the African American community, why black men don't want to have the conversation. And so from there, that event, females came up and said, well, what about the females? We go through stuff too. And so we then kept thing going again, had that first event was called a Grown Man Game. And so we then had a second event called a Grown Man and Woman Game. We had men and women on the panel. A guy as young as 17 years old. And so what we start to find is that through these different events and panel discussions in the community, people were finding hope and healing by listening to people tell their story and have the conversations. And what is happening, what started happening, is that people will come up to one of the therapists after the event and say, what you said was very powerful and touching to me. How can I get in contact with you? Or will come to me and say, how can I get in contact with this therapist? I need this help. And so from there, it's just been kind of a ripple effect. We've been able to partner up people with therapists. During that year, I was like, I love my hometown, so I want to find somebody else in the community that was doing things with mental wellness. And so I reached out to Friends of Advantage, which they're umbrella off of Advantage Behavior, but they're a nonprofit. And so they do things to help people get medication, help people who are homeless, who, dealing with mental illness. And so for them, we had the gala again that year and raised about $8,000 and gave it to them to kind of help them with initiatives. And so what the foundation is trying to do now, we're turning our focus, because my board was like, hey, we need money. We don't have any money, we broke, which is true. But we want to get out here and help people. So what we're doing, we're getting to the point now where we're able, and we're going to be able to provide more services where if a person comes through the foundation and says they need therapy, we can help refer them to someone or even help pay for a few sessions. Because of what you find, a lot of people in the African American community, insurance may not cover it, or they may not have the funds to pay for therapy. And a lot of times, black therapists don't take insurance. And so that kind of hinders us from getting the help we need. And I talked to a lot of individuals a lot that say, yeah, I had a therapist, but I had, somebody who didn't look like me. And they say, I felt like they may not understand me that much. So, what can I do to get the help I need? And so we're helping everyone in the community let them know, it's okay to not be okay. There's resources out here that you can get help. Even, working with the school system, trying to get into the schools more, because a lot of times we're seeing that our young kids, I'm getting calls a lot from parents that have kids 11, 12 years old. As you mentioned, suicide. Nowadays, they're faced with even more stuff than what was faced 20, 30 years ago. Social media, pressure, all kind of things. And so that thought is in their mind 24/7. And so what we're doing is, working to get into the school system too as well, to go in there and have therapists, have discussions with people, let them know that, you're not by yourself, even athletes. Because a lot of times with athletes, you know, they may finish high school, go off to college, then they go get a scholarship. The scholarship don't happen. That really messes up their self-esteem, and mentally they're not okay. And so we're really trying to get the community to kind of push this out about the conversations, letting people know the different type of, you know, mental illness that's out here, giving people statistics knowing that 1 in 5 adults in the U.S. suffer from mental illness. 1 in 6 children starting at age 14 years old suffer. And we're starting to see a lot more now that more young guys starting at age 21, 22 are starting to develop schizophrenia. 3 cousins I have, 2 first cousins that have schizophrenia. One of my cousins, who's my second cousin, actually is incarcerated now because he had an episode with schizophrenia and he took someone's life. 23 years old, went off to college, had a full basketball ride scholarship. He came home, he just wasn't the same, and he never bounced back from it. And so we're really trying to help people become educated, because my thing I always tell people with mental illness is don't wait till it comes to your front door. You know, because you may say today, but that doesn't have to me, it doesn't have to my child or my family. Tomorrow, it could be a child, it could be in your household. And so we're really trying to help spread the word with mental illness, you know, by putting on these free events and by being that middleman to let people know that, you know, there is help and there are resources out here. And so that's why we have the gala, you know, every single year to kind of help bring more awareness to mental wellness. And I'm looking this year, even with Mental Health Month ending, but June is Men's Mental Health Month. And so we want to focus big on that. So it's like, you know, even something like this again, I would love, and I would even love out of the community to have all of you all, you know, even on a panel to talk to the community about, you know, why is mental health so important. And I was telling people we're even going to faith-based churches, because a lot of people think that you can't have a pastor and a therapist.
Absolutely.
You can definitely have both.
You better.
For real, it's people sitting in the pulpits, people sitting in the audience every single Sunday, the congregation, mentally jacked up, listen to a whole sermon, but go home and suffer in silence. And so we're really trying to get into these places to let people know that you're not alone and that there's truly resources out here to help you in your time of need.
Kevin,
What's up?
this weed that these kids are smoking nowadays, is it helping them? Because it seems as if some of this stuff is affecting these kids in ways that they can't bounce back from. With the schizophrenia, with the bipolar, it's like it's triggering or waking up something that's in them. Is this stuff helping these kids at all?
I don't believe so. You know, the weed now is a lot stronger.
Yeah,
You know, you got different strains or whatever.
It's probably laced.
And it's laced a lot of times. I think the most important part is like their brains aren't fully developed. You know, so they're already, you know, affecting, you know what I'm saying, their brain development by, you know what I'm saying, smoking the weed. So it does trigger something. It's like we don't exactly know what that is, but it triggers something. So, you know, when I talk to young adults, especially under the age of 25, I don't recommend smoking, period. Because again, the brain is not fully developed.
Yes. Okay. Jeff, you mentioned finding your wife. Yes, sir. What did that do to you? Not only as a man, but as a father who now has to tell their baby girl that mama is gone. How did you muster up the energy, the wherewithal to be able to do that? And how are you now forgiving yourself and allowing yourself to heal so you can have a chance to have better relationships. How did you manage through that, man?
Well, first I want to say thanks to you specifically for, and I talked to, nephew outside, and he's just like, man, you made it through, man. Cause I still to this day, nobody ain't never said that to me. So that was just like almost brand new to hear. So I appreciate that. But I was telling you, nephew, am I saying that right?
Yes, sir.
No, okay,
That's your
nephew.
cousin?
I was just
That's your little cousin.
that would I take that. But when it happened, like I told him, man, when my baby came in, I literally had the gun, and I'm just like, forget it. And she like, Mom. So I immediately, like I said, put the gun down, got her out, and what came across my mind at that same time was, what would this do for her? Both parents gonna be gone.
Yeah.
So what would that do to her mental? So like I said, I just went into a world where she became my focus. So something that probably would bother me like crap, I ignore. So with her, me and her was just like, let's ride, let's get it, whatever. But I always, like you said, I always had that fear. I was just like, what am I gonna say? Because most men, what we used to, kids with their mamas, right? You know what I'm saying? It always looks crazy when we got our kids or whatnot, and now I don't have her mama, and it's not for reasons people may think about when they see her. So always having to retell the story, like, where's mom? She's not here, and I always tell myself, what am I gonna do? How do I be mom and dad? Because I remember from trying to do a hair, boy. Man, hey, I'm sitting there crying. I'm just like, man, I don't know. I don't know what to do, man. So it was a lot of hat wearing for my baby. She's like, Dad, why hats in a lot of pictures? I had to get it fixed up. I just didn't know how to do it. But I always, just like I do with all, because like I said, I'm a father of 5, so don't let, whole basketball team,
Yes,
2 girls, 3 boys. But it was just me and her, and I always knew that eventually I'm going to have to tell her, I'm going to have to repeat this story, because she's going to, of course, hear like she was hearing this and that. And I would just remember the time when I told her, I think she's 11 years old. And I like, let me tell you about your mama. I know you hear this and hear that, because that's when I kind of learned about depression, because that's what her mama was going through.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't kind of understand how deep depression went until I understood how deep depression went. So when I talked to her, because I always had the fear, I still had the fear a little bit, to be honest, that, is it what you want to say? Is it genetic? You know what I'm saying? Is just anything going to make her go? And so I always kept an upbeat talk or whatever. And I, like we do now with our generation, like I always talk to my kids, because I used to want that. Somebody just to come whisper in my ear and be like, are you okay? So I kept that going for a long time. We got the best relationship. So when I finally got to talk to her, it was like reliving it. Because I didn't want to keep nothing from her, but it was at an age where she understood a lot more. So I just went down the path to display who her mama was, what was going on, and what happened. And, after letting it out too much for me, it was a relief that was been waiting, because like I say, it was built up, just waiting that one day I'm going to have to retell you this. And after that, skip on to, let's just say now, like I say, 4 years ago, like I said, I got my youngest, like I say, 2 girls, 3 boys. My youngest is 14. And with my boys, it was, let's just say my kids helped me start to realize a lot more about myself. Even with stuff like that, coming to talk to them, realizing I still got a lot of unhealed issues. Like, man, like I don't know what to tell you, what I'm saying? Am I being oversensitive? Am I not being this enough? Am I not? Because I suffered a lot when my wife had with that I learned that I developed, what do you want to call it, a detachment. Like if something happened, like, break up or something going on, that's why I say with when I went through the divorce, going through things, it was just like, need to let it go, don't let go. It almost felt like reliving when my mama passed. Like it felt like I'm going to die on the inside. And my kids were my uplift. And I love the way I did end up raising them, because they don't whisper, hey, daddy, okay? That is sad thing to make, like, oh, y'all, you get excited, like, y'all, you was listening to me the whole time. Sometimes, or whatnot. And like I say, to fast forward now, I'm still getting out of certain things, learning, like, I needed to talk to people. I needed to speak more. But like I said, I also got the mentality where, like I say, I'm a Gemini. If y'all don't know what that means, I got 2 sides, and I really talk to myself. So it's just about anything y'all can say to myself 100,000 times. But what I found out, sometimes it's actually better to hear it come from somebody. So I speak a little different. I do got a couple of friends where I actually say the word, like, I talk to my kids and say, hey, you okay? The normal, hey, man, you're all right, you're right. Now I changed it to the last thing, like, mentally okay? Because used to, when I first heard that, someone said to me, I took it as, you know, when we hear the word mental, like, what you mean? I'm mentally all right? Because we use that word, you hear that word, we grew up, most of us in here grew up with it being you crazy.
Right.
You were offended. I'm like, I didn't know, like, what do you mean am I mentally okay? No, it was just like, you okay? So I changed it with my kids. I'm like, even my buddies now, you know, you all right? Or you all right? All right. Instead of saying, because someone still got that, you know, so, you know, I just changed the word just a little bit. Yeah. And it become, and like I say, shout out to reaching out. Like, that is a thing. Like, you know, it is okay. Some people do, you know, because as men, you know, that, like I tell some women, y'all don't understand that what they call pillow talk. To trust you, and then, you know, it's hard. It's hard for us to open up, and that's why a lot of men get ruined too, because we done told you something, then all of a sudden you bring it back up and throw it in our face. That's like a double, like,
Oh yeah,
boy, you know what I'm saying? We in like, man, I don't want to talk to nobody ever again about that, because who gon', you know, I couldn't trust you. You just spoke and made me feel bad about it. But like I said, as I got more to talking, like I said, reaching out a little bit more, and shout out to my aunt, and speaking some things, man, and being able to, like, even though crying. I remember my baby boy, when my sister passed, I didn't realize it was my kid's first time. They never seen me cry. I did not know that. I thought I have broke down. That's what I thought, but I realized I haven't. And he was standing there, froze, like what was going on, and his school changed for him. So that was one thing that woke me up, because the teacher said they wrote a thing like, what do you want to do? Some project, and he wrote he want to die. Mm. You know how they go with the school, so they what y'all got going on at home? We like, hey, I have no clue, but I got to think. I like, we recently had a funeral. I buried my sister, and as I talked to him about things, he like, I never seen you cry. And then my other kid said that, and I was just like, oh man, you know. And I realized, you know, for all my fellas out there, it's okay. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? Let it out. You're not, you know, believe me, I tell folks, don't let me fool you. I'll cry on you. But nah, it was okay. But they like I say, helped me. Like I say, even all the way to the point where I realized it's okay. So like I say, even talking to them, I always ask, you know, you okay? No, you okay? And that's something I learned to do. And that's what, like I said, a lot of things that keep me going is just like I say, I talk to myself a lot. It may not be the norm, but I know what to say to myself, and I'm not afraid to actually reach out anymore to be like, hey, and my aunt know the best. I may call her, like I said, a few of my other homies that know. I just want to talk, you know, because sometimes, even Larry mentioned, sometimes to know that I got somebody that I can at least talk to, feel good, because sometimes I need it. Sometimes I may call with cold. Mm-hmm. I may talk about everything else, but what's going on. And I do got some people who can feel that, like, now what's up? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's up? So that's why I say don't be afraid, because sometimes y'all answer that phone, pick up. You'll be surprised somebody just need to hear, hey, you having a good day today? And that may change from there, because that suicide, I've been there, like I say, many times sitting like, nobody don't need me. No, you know, they don't need you. It's okay. Everybody okay. And, you know, just going through it. Then I hear voices that I done talked to before, and just, you know, why would you? What's the outcome of you doing this and you doing that? And, you know, that's how I've been, you know, making it happen for myself, man. Mm-hmm. Learning to reach out more.
Steve, you're divorced.
Yes.
How's that for you, and how was it having the conversations with your kids?
Well, it was tough, because, you know, when I didn't really, I kind of thought it was coming, but I didn't really know, and it kind of hit pretty quick without a whole lot of warning. And immediately, she was going to try and take everything away from me. And I had no support here where she did. Mm-hmm. And so I had to go through the first round all by myself, trying to figure out, what the hell do I do? You know, what can I fight? What can I have? What do I have to do? You know, I didn't have that support, so it was rough. And then, you know, fast forward, I'm still dealing with it, because, you know, we've gone back to forth to courts more times than I'd like to admit, just because she's just being, I don't know, I think she's just having fun being that annoying person. You know, it's like, you're the one who divorced me.
We know
Let
what
me
you
go,
got.
goddammit, let me go.
She's the female dog.
Yeah.
Don't say it like that. We got
Let me go.
And so it's just, and it's a constant thing, and she's always has to be in control, so she wants to run everything. You know, like you can't do that. But I was scared, I was nervous, and I had these 3 babies that I didn't want them to feel that it was their fault or caught in the middle. And they were young enough. I had one that was old enough to kind of realize and understand what was going on. But the other 2 were, didn't have a clue. There's just one day, hey, where's Dad? You know, and you know, on top of that, you know, some other guy moved in immediately, and I remember having a conversation with him. I was like, "You heard these damn kids? You could go missing, and ain't nobody going to find you." And so I don't really talk to him anymore. But the problem with that is that she manipulates, and what I hear versus what my kids hear are totally different. And so I've got to the point now where they're older. I show them the conversations that I have with them so that they can see what she's saying versus what I'm hearing. So since they are realizing that that's what's happening, we're having better conversations. It's like, so your mom said this, I told you that she said this. I've always been open with you and honest with you, no holding back. You have to be able to make decisions on your own. Stand up for this because it's affecting your mental health. Yeah, and you know, they've gone to therapy, but they need to go back. They haven't had enough. And for me, I didn't go to therapy either, so I'm dealing with that. Plus, you know, my parents got divorced when I was 15 or 16, getting ready to go to college, and I'm an only child, so.
Wow.
I didn't have anybody else to talk with. It's like, nobody else that I knew had gone through this. It was like, well, it's got to shove it down a little bit more. And went to college, kind of forgot about it. And so I'm still dealing with those demons, along with these other demons. And I'm now, even my daughter, she's gotten to the point where she is, she went for a year without talking to me because I actually told her no once. And that was tough because I want to be the fun dad. They can have all the shit they wanted over their mom's house, but when they come here, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna go out and do things. We're gonna go places, travel. But when it came down to it, I was enabling their ability to set boundaries. And so when I started setting those boundaries and the pushback that I got, I was mortified. I was like, I feel bad for feeling bad for them because I'm disciplining them, but that's what father does. So I'm struggling with that, and it got to the point where my daughter ended up not talking to me for over a year, and we're still trying to repair. And it just seems like it will take a few steps forward and take 1,000 steps backwards. And she's starting to get my youngest daughter in her cage, and I don't want to be too late before I can't unlock it. And I know their mom's not going to change, but so the only way that I've got is figure out how to get them separated and then go in, because I may suggest something, but then she comes in and says, nope, we're not going to do that. So struggling with that and not really I guess just shoving it behind me and says, it'll work itself out somehow. And if I continue doing this, that eventually they'll understand what's going on and maybe the light will click on. So that's where I'm struggling with, and I honestly don't know where to go from here with that. And it certainly affects my relationship with Kat, with my friends, and it's not fair to them. And it's not fair for me in the fact that of someone being that controlling when they don't need to be. But I can't stop talking to her. I read books, I've read things about, she definitely has a narcissistic personality, and I've had to find ways of responding to her so that it shuts her up. And that's a whole different frame of mind for me. And I decided to get past where I don't care if she doesn't like me. You know, screw it. You know, and I'm done doing that. And if she tells the kids this, then I'm gonna have to step up and tell them that what's the truth. And so, yeah. So I'm still struggling with that.
Trust me, I know that game. Mr. Thomas, you been in the school system, and things like last week at the graduation, those things. It's supposed to be a joyous occasion, and then y'all step outside and there's a brawl. What is that doing for not only your mental health, but the people around you, the parents, the kids, everybody else that's affected through these things? As an administrator.
It's tough, you know, when you're trying to kind of get rid of a stereotype, because you know day in and day out the people and the kids that you deal with, and then you got, you know, I'm not going to say the community, but a part of the community that wants to keep that stigma on those kids, on that school, and wants to keep that school down, and it really has nothing to do with the school. You know, the school is a building. It's made up of the people that come there every day, and we get all kinds of people that come there every day, and you know, a lot of great ones. And so fighting the stereotypes can be tough. Mentally, it can really be tough. And, you know, I have to teach myself not to read a lot of things. But also, it's hard not to respond a lot of times to some of the things that are said. It's hard to sit back and not say anything, because, you know, you want to educate people and let them know that there are a lot of tremendously great kids that come through our buildings every day. And what happened outside of graduation started from people that weren't even from this city or county. It started with some people that came to graduation from another county. And but it always comes to, hey, you know, that school, this school, this school, and you know, I'm sure that not only just affects me, but I know I'm there every day, but you know, you went there, she went there, he went there, you went there, you went there. You know, we all did. And, you know, so educating.
See the show.
By the Jaguars. Don't say Jaguars. Duncan. Do it by the Jaguars. Duncan. Do it, Herb. Young boy.
So I'm the only one. I'm the only one. I know real bad.
Real bad.
Don't say it.
Hey, I was glad till I died. I'm telling you. I represented
That explains a lot.
That makes sense now. To make you feel any better, a lot of our kids went to Garson.
Only hers.
My daughter's brother.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
See?
But hey, you know,
Yes.
I support her.
Yes, sir.
But no, I just, you know, I try to engage a new kid a day that I've never seen or never met before in some kind of conversation or just in a laughing, joking way. Because in the end of the day, that interaction may be something that helps that child get through that day, or they might be struggling with something, or put a smile on their face. And I just try to do my part. And as much as I can make a kid smile, which, you know, my earlier years of teaching, you know, I was strict. I was by the book, and they know I didn't play games, but I was a great educator. Now I just look at things a lot different. And the more I can make kids smile, the more I can get kids to open up, the more I can get kids to talk and reveal things or whatever. Or if I could just be a sounding board for kids, that's kind of how I am now. So I fight small battles every day just to try to make somebody else's day go better.
Do they know you're a legend?
Do you know you a legend?
Do you know who you are and what you have meant to this community, to the peoples?
Like I told you, once my career is over, that that's for other people to talk and decide. But my story is still being written. So.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But in that story, it is legend.
His flowers while you
Yes, sir. A GOAT. A true man of the community.
Yes, sir.
The things that you have done, the kids' lives that you have touched.
Yes, sir.
We definitely appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
To be able to get up and go to that building every day and to deal with that community, the people of that community, the naysayers, the people that say ain't nothing going on this side of town. That continuously put down the east side. Yeah. But you get up every day and you go to that building and you try to find one kid a day to make him smile. Yeah. Do they know you're a legend?
Yeah. Pour into a vessel. Yes, sir. That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah. I'm gonna pour into your vessel.
That's right. That's right.
Because there's no way you can give them if you ain't got it.
That's right. All right.
Yeah. And my brother, that's what we are here to do, to support you and to pour into your vessel.
That's it.
So that you can make sure that these kids get to know them, not only themselves, but the legacy that they are walking in. When they walk down them hallways, and I thank you for your service.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I truly thank you for your service.
Salute.
Yes, sir. Is there any way that we as men can go into some of these schools, some of these neighborhoods, some of these communities, and show them that we are here for them? We are here to provide them with the necessary security that they need so they can be the best that they can be. Is it possible for us to do that?
It is.
I think that was some of the things that you would.
I think very much so. I think one thing, I would say, even with Drico Thomas here as well, and just talking with other people, educators, like you mentioned, let them know that we're here. Going to them, let them know that, hey, we're concerned. What can we do to help from the community, to help these young people? A few weeks ago, I was able to go speak over at the Clark County, they would say alternative school. Went over and spoke to a group of people and parents, pretty much over there about, mental health and mental illness. And that's one thing that we kind of spoke about. My concern was a lot of kids, go home for the summer.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people think summertime, a lot of kids happy to be going home for the summer. But a lot of kids, they not. They sad. They really like, I want to be at school more because that's their only meal they have. They got a lot of stuff going on at home that's, mentally trauma. It's at home. And so it's kind of like, I asked the question, what's done through the school system to make sure that those kids are okay. And so they did, mention that they have a program where they, have a social worker that kind of keeps up with those kids to make sure they're okay. But I think what we can do as far as, even I mentioned when school starts back, I've taught them about, going into maybe starting the high schools. I'm going there, having some gentlemen going in there talking about mental illness, as a group in the auditorium. To kind of let them know that, hey, yeah, sometimes you hear from people at school, but like I tell them, when I was in school, I can hear my teacher. Mr. Thomas is my teacher. He tell me one thing. Oh yeah, Mr. Thomas talking. If I see somebody else coming here, Rick coming here, I never seen his face before. He said them exact same words to me. I'm like, man, that sounds pretty good. Never heard it before. So sometimes just taking that, or getting somebody in the school that they don't really see all the time, saying those same exact words, I think will help. So I think building those community relationships and letting people in the school system know that, hey, we're here and we're here to help. I think it's the start. So we can do it.
Okay. Okay. Sign me up, boss.
Yes, sir.
Sign me up. Mr. Malachi, what would you like to see from us elders to help y'all young bucks? What are some of the things that we can do to help y'all navigate?
I mean, I ain't even gonna start what I mean. Really, it goes back to that first time you had me on here when I said, you know, approaching them at a level where they at instead of coming at a level where you at. You know, gotta teach them in print rather than cursive. When I had said that last time, but also what I'm starting to notice personally, and this has nothing to do with like elders being older or younger. It's just the whole idea of being receptive to what's being given. Because what I'm starting to notice is some people don't even really want to change sometimes. Mm-hmm. And I'm starting to realize that most people are comfortable in the depression or in the struggle or in the stress, staying in survival mode. And even personally, I can say that about myself. Like sometimes it is easier to float with it. But I feel like coming at an older perspective of coming to the younger people, it's always just going to be at the level that you approach it, because some people aren't where we're at. Some people aren't in the areas to where they understand these big words or understand what depression even is or understand what anxiety even is. Some people feel their heart jumping fast and they think that's just adrenaline. Like they don't even know what that could be. And so it's just being able to break it down. And like a sociopath, like I don't even know what that is really. Like when you brought that word up, I wanted you to explain it, but I didn't want to make you lose your train of thought because I know you had a point you was trying to prove. But like being able to identify it for us and being able to explain it and being able to coach it to us. But I think the biggest thing is always being receptive. Like we have to, I think us as the younger generation, we have to want to understand. We have to want to grow. We have to want to step into those roles and those conversations to where we can hear insight and understand these different frames of mindsets and being able to grow from where we're at into a different mindset. So I feel like right now this is important. Like what you're doing, Rick, like us being in here, having everybody talk about their life, having everybody talk about their mental health, divorce, like suicide is very heavy, losing people. You feel me? Like you talked about your nephew having to leave his son. Like, you feel me? It's just everybody dealing with their own certain situation and being able to open yourself up, knowing that you have the potential to grow and you have the potential to be better. That allows you to sit and have these conversations. And that is probably the only thing that I see that's disconnected through this generation, is like having the willingness to have these tough conversations.
Okay. I think it's important before you can have a conversation with somebody else, I think it's important for you to have a conversation with yourself. A lot of the stuff that I deal with or the work that I do, I help people to deal with the internal first. Yeah. And I always say you got to work the work, right? I always get the question, how long does it take? It's going to take it as long as it takes. Right?
Absolutely.
And one thing I've discovered, ever since COVID, what I realized, my clientele has changed completely. 95% of my clients are males.
Wow.
95%.
Wow.
What was it before?
Probably 30. Yeah. So since COVID, the thing that changed was telehealth or virtual therapy.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So a lot of my clients, I see them, they're on break in the car. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's convenient now for a lot of us.
It's accessible.
It's accessible, exactly. For a lot of us to have those private conversations.
And private.
What was that?
And private.
It's private.
Like you don't see
very
me
private.
walking up to the,
Yeah.
the office door.
Yep.
You
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, that's been, you know, a blessing. It wasn't anything I was looking for, but it was something that just fell in my lap. So I thank God for it, and I just embraced it, and that's been my focus, you know what I'm saying, ever since COVID. And one of the things that I hear the most is it's important to talk to somebody who don't talk down to you, or don't talk
At
you know,
you.
don't speak about, you know, use all the big words or the you know, the medical terms, you know what I'm saying, but to speak plainly, right, to have a conversation. So when I talk to my clients, you know, that's what I say. I said, we're gonna have a conversation. We're not having a therapy session. We're having a conversation. We're just gonna talk.
Hey, can I ask you a question? So, like, is it? Let me see. How can I say this? Somebody that always tell you what you want to hear, though, is that healthy? Is that
absolutely not?
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
Especially if you're gonna come to me. No.
Accountability.
You know, if you reach out to a friend and it's always, you know, always the same.
Always in agreement with what you're saying.
Yeah, but think about it. We're all looking for something, right? Even if it's hard for some of us to come out with it. Sometimes it's hard to articulate it. Sometimes it's hard to kind of put it together. But we know something wrong, right? But if you provide a atmosphere, you know what I'm saying, where it's comfortable and non-judgmental, man, you be amazed at what you hear.
See, and I was gonna say that's the thing we have to do for Malachi and his generation. We have to create the atmosphere where they feel comfortable enough to come and talk about it.
Because it's actually scary that people feel more comfortable putting their personal lives on social media. Rather than having a conversation with probably some of the closest people to
You know what it is? It's impersonal.
It's impersonal.
So we're sitting there having a conversation. Now I got to bring more of me into it
because I'm looking at you.
It takes nothing to post.
It takes nothing to post it because there's nothing personal about putting that on social media. But for me to sit here in front of you, face to face, or even on the phone, because I know it's you. It's that's the scary part. That's why that's when you're allowing yourself to be vulnerable. You know, you talked about opening yourself up and having somebody throw that pain back out in your face. We have to create that space so you can come and just be like, okay, this is what it is. And there's no judgment. We're here to heal, whatever it is, because we all, you know. And I tell Rick all the time that's what I write for, because somebody's felt that. Even if I haven't said anything about it, somebody else is going like, man, I thought I was the only one. Because at some point we all were like, I think I'm the only one feeling like this. But we're not. We're not. So we just have to create a space where we all feel comfortable enough to go, hey, I feel like this. Like, man, I felt like that about 2 weeks ago. And it's okay.
And I just wrote down on this piece of paper, it's something powerful about knowing that you're not the only one.
It is. It's something healing about it. Knowing you're not out there by yourself.
Because I think the scariest thing is like not even feeling like you're alone, like looking around and like just being able to see that like it's up to me to like being a leader. Like I got my own personal YouTube channel. I'm not gonna promote it, but I record videos and I was recording in the gym and I was like the person who leads, the person who's, you know, protecting, the person who's, you know, guiding people towards the healing, you know, who's showing up for that person.
Checking on the strong friend. Who's checking on the strong friend.
Exactly. And you know, I started realizing this in my friendships, you know, me being the strong one, me having a mindset or me having the conversations that challenge people. I'm starting to realize that my friends check up on me, but in a sense, it's like, I don't have to fake like I have everything together. You feel me? Like, I don't have to present myself like I'm this big person who got all this knowledge, because at the same rate, I'm still learning. I'm on my own journey. I'm on my own grind. But at the same time, like, I'm not better than nobody. Like, I'm still trying to figure out things, learning from my dad, learning from people like Rick, Larry, you know, everybody in this room. I ain't never seen y'all personally, but you feel me? It's just understanding the frame of minds that are coming together. And I I think this generation in this world that I've been birthed into and I'm living in, people long for love, but they're afraid of connection.
Wow.
And, hey, can I piggyback? Cause you just almost like you read my mind. When, like I say, with the new generation, we get mad about a lot of things, but I say no. Just think about it. That's why we raised them, sir. We raised them to be more free and stuff, so they have more access to things. Think about having more access ain't actually the best thing. We know more, so they put on a different, as we call mask. They put on a different. That's where they social media come at. I gotta hide from it because to them it's like if I'm not this, when they see the world, they see it like if I'm not this, then I'm at the spectrum. Right. So like you say, like I tell my kids, you got me. Each one of my kids are different. So guess what? I got a special way I come at them. Mm-hmm. I might take this son and play basketball and just slide in that conversation, but like his generation to know if they know. Oh, somebody else is going through it, and instead of some of us who are older and definitely some old heads, as I call them, man, it done like this, it done like. No, y'all got to erase it. Like, think about it. We all kept coming up, so you got to find a different way to cope with them. So it might be like, hey, let's just throw a little basketball game and get this age group in here. We starting to shoot, and we already know what we finna talk about. We just start sliding down. You'll be surprised. Well,
exactly.
They'll just wake up.
You'll be surprised what one lunch can do.
Right.
Like,
absolutely. Right. Come together. Just come together. We just gonna hang out for a few minutes and throw something on the grill. You'll be surprised at the conversations that we might have, what might come out. Because I remember me and my guys, the first time we actually had a meaningful conversation. And we were just sitting in the basement at Sam's house, and we just brought up, and I think it had to do with our sexual health. We all of an age where that thing ain't always jumping like it used to, and somebody mentioned it, and boy, woo, that.
Well, that opened the gates that night.
I'm glad you said that.
Boy, what them niggas is? Hey, boy, you got some of them blues. But it just started a conversation that we needed to have, and nobody was ashamed because we amongst family. We amongst our boys, and you ain't gonna look at me no way differently than the other guys gonna look at me, because we all are in this together. We all trying to help each other, and that's what I want to give to these young people, to let them know that at 8 o'clock on Thursday, these doors are open. Yes, and we can have these conversations, because if we don't have these conversations, somebody gonna be doing something to these kids, man. And we losing these kids. And not only we losing the kids, we losing their mothers, their fathers, they grandmamas. But we have to make it as easily accessible to them so that they can know that it's okay. It's okay. And even if you're not okay in this moment, that's okay also. Because we can figure out a way to help you get okay. But it's not okay to stay not okay.
Yeah. Right.
So, whatever it takes, man.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah.
I got my boobs. I ain't got no fan.
I ain't got no fan. I don't talk no fan.
I ain't got that damn fan.
Hot enough and I got him.
I never want to see another dude with a fan.
Huh?
I never want to see another dude.
I don't want to say, man, a man, a grown man with a fan.
And I told Battaglia the first time I'm sorry, the first time I saw that was just dudes. Like, I guess, I don't know what persuasion they were.
Hey.
But they just had the fan.
Yes, sir.
That was hot.
I'm like,
the only thing they can read.
No, sir. But I just need my younger generation to know that us uncle is here for y'all.
Even if you call us elders, we still
You about to talk a little louder so we can hear the words that are coming out your mouth.
Some of us blind. You have to put right real big.
And I seen this one post. I seen this one thread the other day. It was talking about how some parents aren't ready for the truths for how their kids explain how they were raised. So like most parents aren't ready for the reality that comes from the child that was raised. And so they try to neglect it and gaslight the kids out of that to where it's like they won't take actual accountability for what. That ain't one thing I experienced. Well, like with my mom's side of my relationship, me and my mom don't have those difficult conversations, but me and my dad do. So like I can say that I have experienced that and I do understand that. But what another thing, dude, is the adults or the parents do have to turn their ear and be willing to hear the harsh things that they put their kids through.
Oh yeah,
man, I'm about that. That's why I talk to my kids the way I do, man. That's why I talk to them. Like, I'm like, I don't care what it is.
Talk to them
if
and
it
not
sound crazy, I don't care if it's because it may not be crazy to you. It may. You gotta tell me anything. Even if you got a text, I'll be like, even if you don't want to say it, text it. We're gonna figure it out.
Yes, sir.
And it just builds connection and it allows them to be able to have those difficult conversations outward, just not in the house, but like in these friend groups or in these social groups to where they're not easily persuaded by what they see or what they feel. They can actually approach something and challenge it with their own frame of mind rather than just being so quick to jump at it.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Absolutely. Young Gun.
You ready?
Young.
Hey man, I sure hate to wrap this up, man. But I know everybody got in the morning they got to get to. And Kevin got to be walking at 5.
I'm gonna walk with you. I walk at 4. 2 miles every morning.
I gotta get.
Okay, I got you.
2 miles every morning.
Yeah, so
I need some of that motivation to come get you.
I'm
I'm so in the back of my eyelids, man.
hey, I'll be trying for some sleep.
It's hard.
Well, I have all kinds of headlights on.
We gonna give him a double treat tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna give him a double treat tonight. And I wanna welcome my other brother
Yes.
in the building. He snuck in through the cracks of the door, sitting over there playing the little checkers.
He tried to squeeze in. He ain't got no appointment later.
Yeah. Loose booty, just walk
In
over.
between the knees.
Yes, sir.
You didn't think we was gonna call y'all like that, huh? Boy, you better believe we call all old these things up in here, player.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Loose booty in between the knees.
Building.
Yes, sir. That didn't age well. Hey,
How you get stuck with that one,
I didn't get stuck with that. That was me.
he love to dance all over the place.
Well, most of us know, but you.
You got to explain it.
Right.
You got to explain it.
But I want to thank you for showing up, man.
No, thank you. I was trying so hard to get on the live with y'all, and I couldn't connect.
Yeah, man.
So I said, let me find these people and get down here real quick. Because I really, like I said, I told you, I texted, I was leaving work. So it was like, let me at least try to connect with it.
Yes, sir.
I've been trying so hard to get down here with you all, and it's just been so difficult.
Yeah.
So I'm just sitting there, I'm just reconnecting. I can see you all, I can hear you all. Great commentary, guys. So I said, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna get out of here. I'm off tomorrow, so I said, yeah, let me go up there and see where they're at.
Man, thank you for coming through, man. And so that you know,
This shop always open.
Always open.
On 3rd, yes, sir.
Always open. Steve, I want to thank you for your story, man.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Thank
Rico,
you.
thank you. Jeff, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Handy, the barbershop is always open for you, my brother. Whatever you got going on, wherever we can get in and help,
Yes,
my
sir.
brother.
Let us know.
However we can strap up our boots and go wherever you need us to go so we can have these conversations.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. That food, we got you. You got to try it.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, thank y'all. This has been so much.
Yeah, there you go.
You know,
There you go.
let us be a resource for you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Thomas, the legend. Thank you. Thank you.
Keep doing that.
Thank you.
You're doing right.
I need to get him tell some of those locker room stories.
Yeah, I mean, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, for
yes,
real.
You ain't memorized that thing yet.
No, you still finna go here.
I need you, okay, your assignment. I need you to read it every day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right there, got it right there. Mr. Tick.
What's up?
Thank you for those tick moments.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Your tick,
Tick at.
tick. Yes, sir. Thank you, man. And keep blessing the community. Keep helping whoever you help. Thank you. But we finna get to it. This game of life is a series of moments. The past is just that, the past. Learn from it and be thankful for it. The future, prepare for it. It's coming. Let's get to the next one. The present, it is a gift. Enjoy the journey. Take pictures. But most importantly, thank God. Mr. Malachi.
All right, man, I got a poem for y'all. I titled it Words Are Art. I don't know why I titled it that, but we're going to just dive in. Art in the form of words that spark creativity, images in the mind, visions as time go by. I use words to express myself, not for a fancy life or physical wealth, but to heal all those tears I wept. I take in all those small moments, pulled deep from the depths of my soul, carrying these pieces with me as I get old, broken over things that happened to me at home. Still, I look to live beyond this world we roam, this world we call home. Spiritually seeking to live ever free, gentle breeze staring at the sea, crying tears of healing as I breathe. Can't catch it all in just one breath. Learning life can't be completed with just one step. Still, I catch myself counting each step. It's not easy. If anyone tells you different, don't be deceived. I've been at my lowest plenty of times. I called on God to help me rise. What you see with your own eyes, as a young man who still deals with hurt, brokenness, aloneness, trauma, but also I'm a young man healing, bonding, engaging, and still giving it everything I got. We all done been through a lot. We ain't here to sit and rot. Built for it or not, tell you the truth. Engage with the youth. Help build people up together. We're a community, brother to brother, sister to sister. We're built for this.
The legend.
All right, so I can't breathe. I can't breathe. My lungs are working perfectly and oxygen is being pulled into my body, but I can't breathe. My mind flies at the speed of light, hoping to find that one breath, the one that will calm my beating heart, the one that will soothe my crying soul, the one that will stop my shaking hands, the one that will allow me to exhale. See, this morning I didn't want to get out of bed, and last night I didn't want to lay down because when I closed my eyes to rest, the voices inside begin to rise, and the coming tide that washes over me tosses me like waves on a cliff, and it strips me of my joy, of my being, of myself. Lost in the waves of pain that flow over my head and slowly pull me to the bottom, trying desperately to catch my breath one more time and not surrender, but each breath comes harder than the last, and each wave comes stronger than before, and as my eyes look to the shore, I see the beach is crowded with family and friends, so perhaps this time won't lead to my end, but no one seems to notice. They tell me just to tough it out and that real men don't cry, that it's only in my head, that if I truly believed in God, that it would be all right, and that after the night comes the dawn, or they sing my favorite hymn by REM, that everybody hurts, and what makes me worth the effort to come and save, just shut up and be brave and deal with it. But I can't breathe. So I close my eyes and try to catch my breath, because I know it's only a test that I have failed before. So to the Most High I implore, please God, no more. Like the scarecrow in the Wiz, I can't win. So God, if it's a sin that I let this life end, then please forgive me. For I can't see how this can turn out. It's the 15th round in a 12-round bout. The ref has given me a standing 8 count. And I know all things work to the good of those who love the Lord, but my heart is broken. I'm too soft-spoken to cry. Perhaps it's best that I don't try. Stop asking why. Let what will be. For you see, I can't breathe.
Hey, y'all. I hate to bring this one to a close, but we must do this again. But it's time to sweep the floors.
I got a bathroom. I've been gone for about a month.
Okay, that's right on time.
I'm gonna go and volunteer.
That's right on time.
I got you.
We gonna let Loose Booty stop by there first?
Oh, no.
You can't even say my real name.
Oh, what's up? But we gonna sweep the floor, clean the clippers. Hey, fellas.
We're talking randomly. Talking random. We're talking randomly. Talking random.